Hello everyone and welcome to LSI F1.5 EU Championship. Almost got that wrong. We are back for the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 6 out of 16 already on that number. Only 10 races to go after this one. We're frantic at the moment. We've only got a couple of minutes left of qualifying. We've got a problem with Terence, who hasn't been able to join, and also having problems of their own is Devon Young, who has just, in the moments just before, crashed into the pit lane entry, it seems. So that is their session finished. They still got some good laps in, and they sit currently in P2, and that is going to be frantic cross the line to P7. Heisler disqualifies themselves as they are a higher tier driver, so they will start at the back of the grid. Senna currently on pole, Becken in P3. They have a little bit of time to get out on track. We've got Charlie as a permanent driver now driving for Mercedes. Can he go for pole position 3 races in a row?
Yeah, Charlie, of course, becoming that permanent driver for Mercedes, being very quick as always, and someone who won't be setting another lap in this session, as you said, was Devon Young coming into the pit lane. It seems as though he has made a mistake, perhaps on pit entry, going over the curb a little bit, and that curb is very high up, so the car's going to bottom out, and that could possibly be why he's out. And someone who's going to want to take advantage of this is not only Charlie, but Robbo, who's looking to have some good pace after struggling for quite a few rounds at the start of the season. You know, last season he was on top form, winning races and all sorts, but now he's kind of fallen back a bit. But this is his chance now with Hungary. He has said that he does like the track, and he's just hoping for him he can get a good result there.
There you go, I was muted there. For sure, it would be good. We will see how it goes. A few people just warming up, ready to go for another lap. Zingy, if it's possible, would you be able to watch on board with Charlie and see if he can go and shoot for pole position?
Well, you can sure try. Coming out the last corner, you want to take it a bit wide, unlike what Charlie's doing here, to get the run onto the main straight, open the DRS, stay to the left-hand side, just to get yourself ready for turn 1. You want to brake round about 75 metres here, coming into the hairpin-like first corner. Do not touch the curb, otherwise you will get the car unsettled on the exit, touching the left-hand side curb just a tiny bit and getting the traction. Coming down into turn 2 now. He's went a bit wide, but he can still carry the momentum through. 4th gear, traction down nicely, a bit of a wobble coming up towards the scary turn 4, a blind left-hander. You can't see when you got to turn, so you kind of just have to go flow, and Charlie's done that brilliantly. Turn 5 now, a scene with multiple crashes over the last few years. Thankfully Charlie keeps it out the wall, and coming into the right-left chicane, he's going to manage to do that nicely. Over the curbs a little bit, he's going to struggle there with track time because hitting those curbs is not ideal. Coming through the other chicane now, he's done that nicely, not exceeding track limits. He wants to keep it nice and clean. There is a McLaren who's nicely moved out the way, and Charlie is purple through the middle sector. The last sector, very technical, tough on the tyres. You've been pushing them the whole lap, and the tyres are now going to be excruciatingly hot. Flipping your wheel into that curb, not ideal. Making a bit of a mistake in the last corner. Will he get the traction out of it, or will his tyres be too hot? No, he manages to get the traction down nicely, and up to the line. It's going to be a 15-3. Those mistakes he made at the end of the lap costing him that time.
That was a shame, but it's not a bad place to start the Grand Prix. Obviously, Hungary, you do want track position regardless. It's not like there's a long straight to get to the first corner. We've got Becken in P4 right now. Senna is on the lap as well. They're going to cross the line. What's it going to be for the current pole sitter? For the final time in qualifying, it will be a massive improvement there. A 15.0, almost reaching the 14-second margin. Right there. Becken looking to try and get pole position for Sweden. Will it be the Netherlands or will it be Sweden? He actually races under the South African flag, so it will be South Africa. Last South African we saw racing was Philemon, who had some epic battles in the past, of course. Robbo, right behind his teammate, going off the circuit, might have invalidated that one. He's not invalidated that one. He continues. They're both on, time-lapse here.
Yeah, Robbo's not on the lap though, unfortunately. He must have been making a mistake earlier on in the lap. Peanuts goes up to P3, so that's him overtaking Charlie by a few hundreds. Him making those mistakes has cost him a second row start perhaps. If Becken comes out the final corner and beats him up to the line, he's going to deploy DRS up to the line now. It's going to be P2 for Becken. That's only 1/10 off of Senna. It looks as though Devon maintains that P3 for the moment, unless Frantic's saying anything about it, which no, he's not. Jay is struggling a lot, and that will be it for qualifying, I guess.
Fair enough. That is Senna taking pole position for the first time in LSI. What a lap from him. Very well done. Back into P2. And to be fair, Devon Young to hold that P3 despite DNFing earlier on. He's done a pretty good job right there. He does special things in qualifying, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Qualifying is finished. Hopefully we get Terence in the lobby. It's obviously not ideal, but there's not really much we can do at the moment. We will find out in a bit. Weather, I don't actually know what the weather situation is, so I'm going to assume it's dry because nothing has been said. If it was wet, I'm sure there would have been quite a few comments from the drivers. Just waiting for the final car to retire, and then we will be good to go to get into the race. Alrighty, that is Senna on pole position for the first time ever. Can he convert this into a win today? He had a possible look last weekend. It just didn't quite come to anything in the end. Senna takes pole position, Becken in P2 with Devon Young in P3. That's the rest of the grid. We'll go to the race director and we'll go to the instance section, and then we'll be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready? Hold. Go! Who's going to get it into turn one? We are still waiting. Just a little bit more time, and that's going to be a full safety car. We will continue. That's if everybody can actually get going. We will eventually get going. But yes, we will continue the race for now. I do apologise, this has happened again. There is literally no explanation for this. I cannot... I don't know. I've tried lots of different things. I've tried to look at what maybe has been causing these issues, but no, I'm mind-boggled. It is honestly impossible to fight against Zingy. Is this an advantage to have a rolling start, or is it more of a disadvantage?
It should make it cleaner, and I think it will be much more of an advantage for the hard tyre runners. Becken, interestingly, on the soft compound, so people like Becken, Frantic, and Cookie Monster, who are all on soft, they're gonna have a lot of tyre wear. The medium tyre runners aren't gonna benefit too much from this, and the people on hards are gonna be loving life. There's only 4 people on the hard tyre: Senna, Pete, Charlie, JJ, and High. So the hard tyre is not as popular as what they were in the F1 race. Why do you think that is?
Weather, I assume. That could be foreshadowing maybe some changes, or it is literally just experiments. I don't know. Some people may have even had issues. The fact that we had such a long loading time could maybe hint that there were some issues and people weren't able to select what they wanted to do strategy-wise. Right? We know that was the case yesterday for some drivers, so it's not impossible. It does mean that now Senna is in a very strong position in P1. Becken is going to be very quick, but their peak performance will drop off a little bit because of these laps that they'll be running. So they're not going to be too happy. Devon's in a strong position as well, but Charlie's right there. I mean, everybody is at square one, so I'm just kind of going through the list right now. There's not much to say. One thing to say, though, is that it's good to see Terence in the lobby. He isn't a Red Bull. He'll score points for Aston Martin, and he can work with Peanuts, of course, although in a race situation you can work with whoever you want, really. But yeah, good to get him back in the lobby, at least, and he will get a chance. It's just going to be at the back of the grid. Around a circuit like this where anything can happen, lots of close racing and therefore some very tight moments, you can find your way through the field pretty quickly as long as you spot your way through. And don't jump the start, I'm sure that helps thingy.
Yeah, well, wow, okay, I see how it is. I mean, I got a listen, if you want a free podium, all you need to do is jump the start, because you'll have great pace before that clean air, and then you'll be able to catch up to people on worn hot tyres, and that's why I was able to cut through so easily. So you got to look at it from both sides.
Stoop so low to try and get podiums, absolutely outrageous. But fair play, games is a game, you got it done. Well done. Alright, Senna leading the way. We'll be going racing at the end of this lap, we'll just wait for the confirmation. And he should be good for quite a few laps because DRS won't kick in unless Becken is really going to try and either send it on the brakes or manages to get a decent restart. It really depends how that one goes. But for the first time ever, we will get the safety car restart from Senna with Becken reacting right behind. He's done quite a few reactions and safety car restarts himself recently. I think he's going to be pretty racy with this one. He'll be on his toes. He's not going to be easy to shake off. Shouldn't be, unless I'm going to just absolutely make an abomination of that and he misses the restart. But we'll see. Safety car's in. He's already gone for it nice and early. Becken reacts okay. Not bad at all. He's going to be right there, but he won't be able to get close enough with these tyres. Surely not.
No, Becken got a good restart. Everyone behind him looking to be okay. JJ in the pits for some reason. I don't know why that is. No one can really make a move into turn one looking for it back. There's nothing going on. And it looks as though Senna has retained his advantage. Becken on that soft tyre, using the battery to his advantage, diving down the inside of the Ferrari driver into turn two. That's a great move by Becken. He needs to do that quickly. He's up into P1. That was a phenomenal overtake. And now Senna just needs to keep with him and watch out for the Red Bull of Devon Young, who's on that medium tyre.
I'm speechless. I did not expect that. He's barely pulled it off. Fair play and nice reaction from Senna. I think it was inevitable and he should have probably let the move go anyway when it was going to happen, but I didn't realise it was going to be that soon that he would get the move. To be fair, that was probably safer than trying to get the move done at turn 4. So he get and in all honesty, it works out for Senna a little bit because he's been able to maintain that position ahead of Devon Young, who is also going to be incredibly quick. The softer tyres around a high downforce circuit are always absolutely insane. You can see from the difference of Peanuts and Charlie already in this race. That is just tyre advantage around this kind of circuit. Now, Devon Young, he's going to have to push for this move sooner rather than later. Otherwise, he's going to lose too much time to Becken, who will be able to extend a second gap before DRS.
Yes, and needs to use his battery here. If we look further back, is that Haj making a move on J. Coy? It looks as though Tom Brayna and Charlie are having a bit of a squabble. Tom Brayna on that medium tyres. We just said that the mediums are going to be working much better than the hard tyres. In the cool conditions, they will last a little bit longer as well. And Tom Brayna, unfortunately for him, can't make the move, and he's not going to try anything into turn 4. But you can just see the grip that the mediums have compared to those really cold hard tyres.
Also got Frantic right behind him, but he can't seem to find a way through. Got 2 cars up in front, which creates a little bit of a wall. You can't send it on the brakes. I go back to this battle because Tom Brayna's just made a little bit of a mistake, and now it does give Frantic a slight opportunity. He just doesn't have the confidence. So it's going to be Cookie Monster out of the Grand Prix already, and that will be a safety car.
Another breath before we get back to the action. Yeah, Cookie Monster, I think, just Has he dropped it perhaps at the chicane, the fast chicane? I don't know. He was on not soft tyres, perhaps overheating already, which would be a bit odd considering we've only done one lap. But you know Hungary, if you've ever played the F1 game, well any F1 game really, you know that Hungary is a tyre killer and it heats up the tyres to a point where it's unbelievably undrivable. So maybe Cookie Monster experiencing that. We're going to see a few drivers in here. The two McLarens, Becken and Robble, frantic. Monk, and it looks so Terrence on that medium tyre is going to probably switch over to the hard compound of tyre.
Interestingly, going for the mediums is Becken, so he's going to go for the double medium, I guess.
That would be actually a very good strategy. People will go hards, but if you've got two sets of mediums, why won't you use them? They're much faster, and the drop-off we've seen in the LSI F1 race wasn't actually that bad. You can see the mediums drop off only a few tenths, and that's roughly the same as what the hards do. But because the hards are slower at the start, you don't really notice that difference in pace.
There is obviously a concern that if there's a later safety car, you don't have a fresher set of mediums to back you up. But I think that the medium tyre is just so much stronger than the hard tyre in this game, at least at this circuit, that it is just worth it. He's just got to make sure that he keeps his nose clean. It's not going to be easy, but it is definitely going to be the fastest strategy. And right now, for me, Becken is quite possibly in the strongest position. He's just got to really be cautious, but take every opportunity and not let anything go. He has to be on the ball, just let things happen, not exactly put his front wing anywhere where it shouldn't be, because that's when you're going to end your race. So that's pretty standard saying anyway, but especially right now for his case, where he is in the race. Devon Young is the lead medium tyre runner. He should be able to get past Senna at some point very soon. He wasn't able to get through earlier on. I think he was maybe waiting for DRS to kick in, which never arrived. So he's going to be pretty frustrated, but it is what it is. Zingy, what tyre would you want to be on at this part of the race?
If I were to be anyone in the grid right now, I probably would want to be Becken, although I've got 7 cars to overtake to get back to where I was. With that double medium strategy coming into play, having 4 lap fresher tyres than everyone else, I believe that Becken has actually done something really smart here. Which, was it him or Peanuts that had that absolutely dreadful strategy yesterday? I think it was Becken, wasn't it?
It was Becken, yeah. Made an interesting pit stop.
It looks so he has learned from that mistake. He's going to go double medium to the end, and he's going to have the fastest strategy by far.
Lovely. Lovely indeed. Lap 7 we will go racing. JJ goes back into the pit lane, but puts a slightly older set of tyres on. They must have had some sort of issue, or maybe one set of tyres only. I don't entirely know. Sorry for the pun. He will continue on his merry way. I don't know if he would try and go all the way to the end or to much later on in the Grand Prix. We'll see, but we still don't know if it is going to be wet towards the end. It is kind of between light and overcast at the moment, probably more overcast than light cloud. It's still not kind of wet conditions though, not that far. It's getting a bit brighter, if I would say, although it's pretty similar. Bit of a lag from Terrence, hopefully that's no further issues.
Yeah, I do notice some places as the safety car is coming in that the weather in some places looks lighter but in others looks darker. We're going to look on board with Sen now. You realise that last time he went just before the last corner. He will maybe try and change up. Devon Young knows when he went last time, and perhaps someone on a more similar tyre might be easier to hold up. We're not sure. The medium tyre, as we've seen yesterday, was so good under race conditions. Senna went for it now, coming through the last corner, round about the same place he did last time, getting the traction down nicely. He's got a 3-4 tenths margin to Devon Young, who's going to be using the battery, coming down into the first corner with slipstream and ERS deployed. Will he be able to size up a move? No, he won't. Coming into turn 1, Sen leads from Devon Young, Peanuts behind. Charlie looking like he's getting overtaken by Tom Brainer, who makes a mistake, and that might allow Hage to go through. There's contact further back between the McLaren. I think that's Robbo and JJ. Looks so high, he cannot make his way through, but Senna leads from Devon Young.
Lovely jubbly indeed. Yeah, that was Robbo having a bit of an issue. Unfortunately, contact there at some point. Becken made a move on Jay after the restart, so making those tyres work. I'm going to have to try and get some speech lessons. I don't know. Sorry, guys, for that. We carry on, and Devon Young is looking very, very quick at the moment. He needs to try and get something done on the brake. Surely it's not going to be possible to get past the Ferrari in the S section. They're just too slow corners to be able to carry speed and really utilise a set of medium tyres. He still can't quite get it though. He's going to have to wait for the straight and hope that he can compete on the exit of the final corner. Anybody else further behind, very close, is Terrence on P9 for Monk, and Monk is nowhere to be seen as that is JJ almost making contact.
Yeah, JJ almost obviously making contact with Monk there. It looks so. Looking back up at front, Devon Young hasn't been able to go the exit at the final corner. Maybe those medium tyres wearing a little bit. Terrence, on the other hand, on the fresh soft tyres, get past Jay very quickly. He's going to be looking towards that top 7. It looks as though Becken already making his first move on high into turn 1. Becken on those nice fresh tyres is going to be looking to go forward in this race. Tom Brainerd up next as Charlie makes a bit of a mistake. Will this allow Tom Brainerd to get the move? No, he makes a bit of a mistake coming out of turn 2 and 3, and it doesn't look like he'll make the move at the moment. Charlie defending well, maintaining that 4th place, however going wide and getting a penalty already on lap 8. That is not what you want to see at the start of the Grand Prix.
Surely he's got damage. There's no way that he's like this. He's been pole position 2 races in a row before this, and he just can't find a way through. I do know that he's using no racing line, so that would explain it, of course, which is tough to take. He's not doing a bad job in that regard, but it's still not ideal on lap 8. We've got Tom Brainerd right here. He's got a lot of pressure behind Becken. Also, he's got a lot of pressure on himself, really, because he just needs to try and continue to make these moves. He has everything to lose right now. Probably the strongest car in the grid, bar Senna, who maybe is close to him. But other than that, it is what it is. That strategy-wise, of course, DRS is enabled. Not this lap, though. Tom Brainerd, regardless, is going to look at going for a move on Charlie, who goes defensive to the inside line. The margins are absolutely tiny. He's pointed the car right to the inside of the apex. Is he going to get the traction down? He is going to get the traction down, and he will carry it around the outside. Tom Brainerd doesn't want to have any of it. They're still going to continue. He's going to give the position up, and this should surely be Becken getting the run. But no, he misjudges it, and he makes contact.
Yeah, Becken making contact, having too much entry speed into the corner. He somehow manages to get the car stopped on time and gets round Charlie, who is struggling so much. Now his teammate Haji is going to try and find a way through. Remember, he is an F1 driver, so does not want to affect this race too much, not overtaking Charlie, sorry, but you can just see the Mercedes is struggling so much. Look, it looks as though he's understeering like hell. And speaking of people who are struggling, Tom Brainerd with an oversteer snap, and it looks as though Becken is going to try and make that move coming into the right hander. It's a great place to try and make a diving move down the inside. It doesn't look like he's going to make it at the moment. But Becken on those fresher medium tyres only by 4 laps, but you can see the significant advantage. Look at the grip he's going to have coming at this last corner here. He's able to fling the car in, get an engine straightened up very early, put the accelerator down. Tom Brainerd losing the back end once again. It looks as though not only him is making a move, but Devon Young also for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Lovely. Lots of changes, lots of important changes. Finally, the medium tyre makes it work, but it's possibly a little bit too late for him. Becken, P4 in a strong position, only 2 seconds away from the race leaders right now. He's got a really good race ahead of him right now. This could be his first win. That's going to be Tom Brainerd into the wall. It's not going to be a safety car, surely. It's going to be a safety car. Luckily, he didn't DNF, but that was such a tragic way to go right out right there. Loses it on the exit of turn 3. Easily done, but just so painful when you do get it, when it does happen, sorry.
The third safety car of the day is only lap 10. DRS has been enabled for one of those laps. Devon Young on that medium tyre, would he consider hitting onto the hards to go to the end? The race will be restarted lap 12, lap 13ish. So will that allow him to go to the end on that harder compounded tyre? We've seen Senna, he's had some good pace on that hard. It's not been the best. But if Devon Max on a fresh set compared to other people who may stay out, that will give him a clinical advantage towards the end of the race.
Sure, it will. Alrighty, it's crunch time. Who's going to go into the pit lane? It is going to be Devon Young. It is going to be Senna as well. Everybody's made that call to just follow on and go for the fresh tyres all on the same lap. Senna braking as late as he possibly could to make sure he gets close up. Peanut's not quite doing the same thing. Becken, is he going to go for the hards?
Let's see, Becken, he is going to go for the... As he comes into his pit box now, it looks like the other set of mediums that have been put on, the other fresh set. We see Devon on hard. That's really the best choice he could have made. Senna, Peanuts, Becken and Charlie on mediums. Terrence pits onto the softs, so he's going to go soft medium towards the end. Tom Brainerd also going softs. Not Tom Brainerd, he's going hards. And everyone else looks so they're going to go to the end of the race, perhaps? It's all up in the air right now. Hige is leading, Monk second place, on 10 and 6 lap hards respectively. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but we know these two are going to be swallowed up by Devon Young. And if this is just a gifted win to Devon Young, if he can just keep it out the wall and keep some good pace. You might not agree with me here, but he's got every chance to win the Grand Prix.
I do agree with you. I'm incredibly confused by that pit stop from Becken. He's just given away the race lead. The other guys would have either pitted or been behind him anyway, so he would have got in front of everyone, been in P1 on okay tyres, would have pitted later. Lots of other cars would have pitted later. If not, if they're on the hard tyre, they would just be a lot slower later. And like I said, around a high downforce circuit, this is exactly what you want. He's given it all up for a reason to go on a potentially weaker strategy, going all the way on the hards, unless he wants to go to the softs later. But if he does that, he's just put himself on an equal strategy as Charlie, Peanut, Senna. Why?
Well, we can't really judge him yet, can we? There's still a long way to go in this race. Laps-wise, maybe not time-wise, because this track passes laps like it's nothing. This 1 minute you're on lap 24, another one you're on lap 31. So you're really, when you do have that advantage, you do need to push as hard as you can. Is what on earth has happened there? Jay, in the background, has just crashed on pit straight, going on board with Robbo. He just sees car into Beck. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe trying to avoid our car has maybe broken in the straight, but that is Jay out of the Grand Prix, and that probably won't extend the safety car period, but a very odd way to retire.
Yeah, not often that you see a collision on a straight during a safety car period. It's not impossible, but it doesn't happen often, and when it does happen, it's usually quite a severe incident. So hopefully we can get some footage of that one a little bit later on. It's a shame that it has happened, but I'm sure he'll be back again to get another opportunity at going for this. That is 2 retirements from the session this evening. Heischler leads the way on the oldest tyres. He hasn't made a pit stop yet, but he's got track position. He's also got a fellow hard tyre runner in between who's not pitted recently. He's got another hard tyre runner in P3 as well. So Senna is going to be having to put quite a bit of work in to be able to get to Heischler. Sure, those tyres are significantly worn compared to the rest, but he's still got a lot of work to do. We will see how this goes very shortly, I am sure. Heischler is going to be the one to go for the restart, and Monk will be the one to react, finding himself in a good position, just temporarily I assume, because the cars behind will be absolutely rapid. Safety car comes into the pit lane right now, so you can go at any point from this time onwards. When will Heischler do it? He's just waiting, pretty experienced, he knows what he needs to do. Just needs to get it done. Lots of people are bunched up, incredibly compact, causing maybe a few difficulties. This is exactly what Heischler wants for the rest of the field. He's still waiting, and now he'll go for it. Lovely jubbly indeed. He's got it done. Monk didn't react too well. Devon Young is right there. I don't think he's going to be able to get the exit though.
Yeah, Devin Young coming into turn 1, he can't make the move down the inside. You can just see though, the braking performance looking further back, because you can see Becken diving down the inside of his compatriot Peanuts. Into P5 he goes. Becken is on a mission at the moment. Next up is Senna. Looks as though Devin Young and Monk are going side by side. Devin on those fresh tires has made his way up into P2. Senna is going to be looking for the move now, but he can't make it into turn 4. He's not too close enough yet.
Yep, he knew what he needed to do, Devin Young, just make sure that he gets the pit stop cars out of the way, and Senna, he has nothing that he can do but let Devin Young get a bit of a gap, and although Senna will be able to catch up later on, every advantage is very, very helpful in a Grand Prix like this. Becken, despite losing all that track position, is absolutely rapid as well. I thought Senna was the strongest car on the circuit, but no, don't think it's going to be, and that's going to be Devin Young going for the lead of the Grand Prix immediately. He doesn't want to let it go any longer. Becken's going to send it to the inside of Senna, and all of a sudden he's now P2 on the medium tyre runners. It's still up for grabs though. Round the outside goes Becken. There's contact. They're still really, really close together. Wheel banging down the straight, and it's going to be the Devin Young leading the Grand Prix. No, not leading the Grand Prix. Heischler's done it. Peanuts is trying to get through on this one. Can he get a double overtake? He can't get a single overtake. Monk's now still in P3, holding on for dear life. They're just holding each other up way too much, and Devin Young still in a good position. There's contact. All three cars go off the circuit. Peanuts is going to get the run up the hill, the outside line. He is surely going to make that move. There's a little bit of questions about that one. He's not going to be happy. Senna comes out in front for now, but Monk all of a sudden down to P7 after that big issue. Charlie taking everything he could there.
Yeah, a bit crazy from those guys there. Monk tried to defend his position and got pushed off. It was a bit crazy there. Monk down to P6. It looks as though Becken is down to P8. And now he's getting challenged by his teammate, Robbo, who's not going to have dirty tyres because he's not went off the track. It looks as though, is he going to go for the move? Surely not. He understands that Becken is in a massive fight at the moment for the championship, and he can't really allow to his teammate to get past him. So he's going to keep him behind for now, but he's made a mistake. I said his tyres are dirty, and you can just see how much he's struggling at the moment. Coming out of the last corner, DRS is enabled, and it looks as though this is Senna's chance to go down the inside. Peanuts is going to follow him through. It looks as though there's no grip on those 14-lap old hard tyres. Terrence going for the move on Monk into turn 1. Becken making a bit of contact with the Williams too, but that might allow Robbo to try and side his way through. Charlie's now made the move on Hige, and it's all changing up.
Everything is moving everywhere, and that is going to be Monk still holding on, but Becken going to try and get the run up the hill. Will he be able to get the move done at turn 4, using the energy to get the momentum? He's pushed right to the line. I think he's probably going to keep that position, and Robbo also gets involved as well. He's going to go for the move on his teammate into the chicane. What is he doing? I don't believe it. They're fighting each other at this point in the race when they could have tried to catch up to the other cars and get DRS, but no, they're still losing time as they forced each other onto awkward lines, and now, they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it looks as though Robbo's got quite a good bit of pace at the moment. Becky maybe a bit flustered after that contact. I wouldn't suspect he's got any damage because he has still got good pace when he's not being battled. Devin Young 7/10 ahead of Senna, going on to lap 16 now. DRS will be available for the Ferrari, and the Red Bull ahead has got those slower tyres for the moment. Peanuts just about a second behind him. Charlie is up into P4. Terrence making his way into the top 5, overtaking Hige, whose tyres are falling off significantly now.
That is Robbo making that move. He finally makes that decision. He'll get slungshot and will be brought towards Heischler. Regardless if he's brought towards Heischler, he will be catching up on those fresher tyres. It's an incredible scene that we are seeing, but Becken from being one, if not the fastest, the second fastest car on the circuit, to now being down in P8 and not able to carry the momentum. Maybe he has some damage, or he is just maybe frustrated, and that's causing him some issues. We will find out later on, of course, but Devin Young still holding on to the lead, and Senna, yes, he's in a strong position, but Devin Young, he needs to defend. Usually I say you just let the car go and lose minimal time, but no. right now, Devon Young's best option is to defend and maintain the lead for as long as he can.
Yeah, Devon needs to control this race. He's got the battery to keep Senna behind for a few laps, which I think he might try and do. Let's see, coming onto the straight. No, he's not using battery, and that's going to allow Senna to slingshot his way past going into the first corner. Devon Young not using any battery. I think he realises that within a few laps his tyres are going to go off. Robbo making the move on highs into turn 1. Becken diving down the inside of the Mercedes, also making his way through. The McLarens can't be separated. Looking further back, it looks as though Monk and Frantic are having a battle. Tom Brayner also looking for a move. Tom now pushed onto the curb and into the wall if he's not too careful, but that's a great move by Tom Brayner, getting the traction of better than Williams into turn 3, and looks so he's made his way up into the points positions. Frantic's next for him, but he just can't seem to find a way through.
Of course, Heisler has their driver, so it does mean Monk is actually P10 for the EU drivers, still looking to score a point, but he's not going to be happy with that one, just losing that. Tom Brayner trying to make a little bit of a late comeback. Frantic is his next target. And then Heisler, who they will be catching eventually, and it does look like Tom Brayner is going to try and be one of those cars that goes to the end of the Grand Prix. He is going to be a lot slower later, and we will find out what is the best strategy. It looked like the softer tyre towards the end of the Grand Prix was the best one to go for yesterday before we got the wet conditions. But it could change. It all depends on the drivers. And Devon Young doesn't get DRS as Senna breaks away. That is a brilliant opportunity for him to now look at maybe winning this Grand Prix.
Yeah, Devon making that mistake into the last few corners, losing their rear end with minimal traction. It looks like he was struggling there. But Devon, he just needs to try and maybe not stay in DRS if he can't do that. He may want to conserve battery for a few laps, and when his Senna's tyres inevitably drop off, then he starts pushing. I'm not sure what his plan is, but I think that's probably one of the better things he could do at the moment. But he cannot, by any circumstances, be overtaken by both Peanuts and Charlie.
He has to maintain position. Yeah, Peanuts, he's going to want to make a move, of course. He's on the same strategy, and he's not exactly slow. But I think by the time it gets to him having an opportunity to making that move, I think he will probably be too late. That wear will kick in. Although that being said, I didn't realise that Devon is not looking too good with the energy. Neither is Peanuts, to be fair, so they are very reliant on DRS.
Yeah, it looks like the only person in this top 4 who's looking good on battery is Charlie with 83%. I probably shouldn't have said that specifically, but he is on a high percentage of battery. He will use a bit now. Coming into turn 1, you can see with that green light on the steering wheel lighting up, but he's not going to make a move. He just wants to stay behind for now and wait for them to have a battle, and then that'll be his opportunity. Remember, he does have a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, which probably won't be removed, so he needs to just watch out and wait for his opportunity to make that pass, which could be very soon if Peanuts keeps up this pace.
Tom Brayner going for the move on Heisler, who is now continuing to drop further down the order. For his race, he does maintain whatever position he's in, so he would be scoring a P10 position at the moment. Becken gets a time penalty as he's been overtaken and dropped by his teammate now. His teammate is looking to make a move on Terence within the next few laps, as those soft tyres are quite low on grip. But yeah, still Frantic holding on to Tom Brayner, which is a very good job from him, but we do need to look at the battle with Terence because Robbo's going to be in a very good position to make this move, and it might invite Becken back into the battle.
Now, you might disagree with me here, but this is roughly the time where Terence wants to make his pit stop onto that new set of medium tyres. Maybe extend it 1 or 2 laps and have that freshness. It will be like a second a lap quicker than everyone else for quite a few laps. And if those medium tyres can't make it to the end, which they probably won't, he could be in a good position, track position-wise, to make that potential podium position work. And speaking of people making moves, it's going to be Robbo into 1. It looks so a bit of contact is being made with the Red Bull and McLaren. Terence struggling for grip on those really old soft tyres. Robbo going to go down the inside, reminiscent of Becken's overtake on lap 1. Past Terence, into P5. Terrence really struggling on those tires, and I would say now is probably the time to pit.
That was a very good effort on defending. He put his car exactly where he needed to, but it just wasn't enough. You can't compete around this circuit on tyre advantage. It just has to be there. Devon Young losing a position here to Peanuts, and also Charlie trying to get in on this. He has to back off. It's just not worth it. He goes over the curb, and he almost loses the car. That's probably going to be DRS loss for him if he's not careful. That was a close call, and he's got to make sure that he counts his lucky stars. But yeah, Peanuts makes the move, interestingly. Right now, it's pretty late on though, because he's lost 4 seconds to Senna.
Yeah, I think Devon Young must have made a mistake. He was like, what, 2.5 behind Senna before that? Whatever happened, and now he's 4.5, 5 seconds. So a mistake made from Devon Young, which is not what he needs in the battle for the championship. I think it's all quite close at the top of the standings. I'll have to check. Tyre's getting a 5-second penalty for speeding to the pit lane, which is the last thing you want. And just to confirm with you, Aaron, Beckham did indeed have front wing damage. He's repairing front wing at the moment when he's pitting.
Explains a lot. It does explain a lot. He made contact with the rear end of the car earlier on in the Grand Prix, so that would be where that's come from. He's at the back of the field, being one of the fastest to being last place dead. That is a hell of a shame. He's still got time to try and catch back up, and he's looking to go for a severe undercut, but is that the right tyre to do it? He doesn't have another option tyre-wise.
No, I think, yeah, he's already used his upset mediums and softs wouldn't make it to the end, so hards is the best tyre for him to go on to at this current moment of time. However, the hard still will be an alright tyre to have for the time being, because even when he does, when other people do pit, he will have relatively good pace, I'd say, compared to everyone else. So can't count out yet for some good point finishes. We've seen in F1 that until the last lap you can't really know where people are going to finish, and it looks so sorry that Terrence is going to be coming into the pits, perhaps reacting to that pit stop of Beckham. I know he has a race engineer who's probably overlooking the whole strategy, and yeah, that will be him onto the medium tyres for the last 13 and 14 laps, and he's going to be very quick, so we need to keep an eye on the Red Bull driver. Will he come out ahead of this train with JJ, Taj and Beckham? If he does, which it looks like he is, that's going to be fantastic from the Red Bull boys to get him out just ahead of that Ferrari. And now Terrence, although 13 seconds back, has really fresh tyres. It might, I say, he could get a good top position, top 5 maybe?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's exactly what Beckham wanted to do. He just didn't have the tyres available. And he is also behind 2 of the cars, which always makes it pretty difficult. Heisler is looking super close to the back of JJ. Beckham's going to have to make sure that he keeps an eye on this one and tries to go for the double overtake. It would be an opportunity, but he can't find a way through Heisler, and he has to be careful as a high tier driver. He's really not going to be in a position to take any big risks, so it is such a tough situation for him to be in. Devon Young still holding on and in a strong position though. I think this could be his race, but Senna, he's doing everything he needs to. 5.6 seconds advantage. He's just creating a buffer for later on when he does inevitably lose that time. So it's going to be a close one to the end, I reckon. It's going to be an exciting one. And we've got JJ making that pit stop, so it's an easy move for Heisler. He will also get DRS. Beckham is going to be looking to go for the move on Heisler, but he has DRS cancelled out for him. It is just pure straight line speed at this point.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that Frantic has boxed onto the medium tyres as well, so Terrence already up in his 6th. That gap to Robbo is 19 seconds, however 11 lap fresher tyres is going to allow him to catch up very quickly. If you get the interval gap up, you'll be able to see that gap close over time whilst being able to look at other battles. And speaking of, Beckham looks as though he is getting dropped at the moment by High. Of course he's a higher tier driver, but it looks as though those hard tyres for now aren't the best in the current situation, so I don't think Aaron, they should have pit for those mediums. Now that you say it,
yeah,
look at
it's tough. Originally, he was in a really strong position. He made that extra pit stop. I'm wondering if he maybe got the damage, went to pit, and then it didn't repair it. That's my possible theory. It's a bug that happens way too often in this game. Yeah, it's pretty tough to take. Interestingly, 23 seconds all of a sudden, Terence has to the car in front.
That's Charlie.
Okay, yeah.
It's just a bit glitched because of the Charlie was ahead by 23 of Terence, and that's why he said that. But no, he is still I think 17 seconds off Robbo now, so he's not made a mistake.
Cool, makes sense, lovely. Robbo, P4 as you say, Robbo, he is going to be in a difficult situation, same as Senna and Peanut, so that might be the best chance of him making those positions. He'll have to hope for a safety car because eventually Charlie Terence Heischler will catch up to him. It's only a matter of time.
I'm just thinking, if I'm Senna, I'm probably going to come into the pit. Okay, right, he's coming into the pits this lap. It's almost like I've seen him come into the pits there, yeah. I would have said before he did, come into the pits for the medium tyre. I'm not sure what tyre he will go on to. And that gap might be about 13 seconds, but remember how fast I was catching Niffle on that old hard tyre. It was about 2.5 seconds a lap. And with someone on the medium tyre who's, it's 14 laps, and you can see visibly the tyre doesn't look too well, will Senna be able to have any chance of winning this Grand Prix with 10 laps to go?
If he waited 2 more laps, he would have been able to get onto the soft tyre.
No.
And he would have been pretty much good to go, but the tyres could have overheated later on when he really wanted to try and go for a move on Devon Young. Yes, he's going to have a significant advantage, but more or less, if we just look at the gap to the leader, he's got 13 seconds to catch in just over 10 laps. That's not actually as difficult as I thought it would be. He's just got to gain a lot of time per lap.
Of course he does. I remember in the F1 race also, I do refer back to it a lot, that he did struggle initially on those medium tyres, so he needs to get that out of the system right now. And you may think temperature, but for the first 5 laps, even when the tyres were up to temperature, he was struggling a bit, so he needs to just push as hard as he physically can without putting it in the wall. It looks as though Peanuts and Devon have responded, so it's not going to be nearly as difficult as what I would have thought it to be. So he's just gained an extra probably 1.5 seconds from that.
Why is Devon pitted?
Wait, why is Devon pitted? Yeah, good point. He's on the hard tyres. He could have went to the end. Niffle done 24 laps on his tyres and they weren't that bad. So Devon's just thrown away any chance he had of winning the Grand Prix. Charlie, out of all people, is now back on the podium. Peanuts is on the softs, which literally you just said a minute ago could perhaps make it. Terence is now in striking distance of his Red Bull teammate, which is Devon Young. They're going to be on cold, hard, medium and soft tyres. So will he be able to make advantage of it? I'm not too sure. This is just blown out of proportion, and now Robbo, out of all people, is leading the Grand Prix. But I think Senna will catch him in probably a lap and a bit, maybe 14 lap fresh tyres. I don't expect Robbo to put up too much of a fight. His tyres are finished. I'm not sure really. I don't know what Robbo's plan is here.
I think, I don't know. Everybody's actually quite a lot closer than I thought, and. Yeah, Robbo's probably going to drop like a fly. I hate to say it. Drop like a fly? I don't know.
Probably for a 6 second now, time penalty, I think that is. Have we just seen there? Let's go over. Yeah, Charlie's 6 second time penalty for corner cutting. So that definitely won't be removed now. He's going to be struggling to maintain that position at the moment. He would drop behind Terence, although he is on fresher tyres, so he could make that count. It's Senna's 6th fastest lap, setting the timing sheets alive with a 17.5. I didn't mean to round that there, but fair enough. And now Peanuts has got every opportunity of getting this podium. Robbo's going to drop like a fly. And Terence, if he can just stay within a good range of Devon Young, if they do make contact, which has been prone between him and Robbo this season so far, he could be within a shout of a good points position after that great strategy call.
Devon seems to be making the medium tyre work. Peanuts can't quite find the performance. Maybe that medium tyre is actually faster. So fair play if that is the case. Senna's absolutely smashed it. And Robbo, he's right there. I wonder if he's going to make the move into turn 12. It would be a pretty easy job to get done. You can see it. There you go. I don't think he's going to have any questions asked. Although that being said, Robbo does have a lot of ERS, so he might try and push back to get in front. I don't think it's really the best choice, but yeah, I don't know. He's got nothing else he can really do at this point.
Yeah, you just see 8 tenths from 2 corners, 9 tenths a second. He's going to get the DRS, but Charlie's going to be all over him by the end of this lap, probably. 3.6 seconds on a lap. Yeah, I can probably see that happening. Peanuts is now went fastest with a 17.2, 3 tenths faster than what Senna did. But he is on the soft tyre, remember, and he will be struggling towards lap 33, 34. A few laps to go, and he will be crawling towards the end. Heish is actually caught up to Terrence a bit here. He is on roughly the same amount of tyres as the Red Bull, so he might want to make a move, but remember, as we said, he is an F1 driver, so he might just stay behind for the moment and not jeopardise his race.
It will be possible for Devon Young to make that move on Peanuts towards the end, but not easy, of course. He does have to be aggressive if he wants to get it done on Peanuts. Peanuts is not an easy driver to pass, though. Aggressive in his own mind. Still clean, though. Just quite hard racing often. And yeah, he's the championship leader by quite some margin. Devon, everything that he can get over Peanuts, he has to get it. Having a strong race last time around, of course, and catching up and actually taking the lead of the Grand Prix, the Constructors' Championship, with Oggio taking that win for the Red Bull team. But Devon has to get this position. It's crucial for the championship. I know it's only race 6, but the races are going by, and he doesn't have that much more of a buffer to be able to lose until he needs to really start pulling in those points. So yeah, not an easy situation, and Peanuts is only gaining. He did get DRS of Charlie here, sorry. So Charlie, he's going to be next up. He's not even going to bother waiting behind him to try and take advantage of the time penalty. He is going to just try and make that move, I'm sure, on track.
Yeah, I mean, Robert, look at the pace, well, the lack of pace. Charlie locks the front into the chicane. It looks so Peanuts is going to go for the move down the inside of the Mercedes. That's a clean and very, very important move in the grand scheme of things, as Peanuts has now made his way up into the top 3 without a penalty. Robbo hasn't got the tyres left to fight anymore, doesn't he? He's on his 18 lap old mediums. Those tyres are finished. Peanuts, probably the fastest car on track at the moment, utilising them soft tyres very efficiently. You can just see that Robbo is crawling around like a snail coming through this last sector, and that's going to allow Peanuts to try and get his way through out of the last corner. I don't think Robbo can defend much. Battery-wise, he's got a lot to burn. You can see that Peanuts is struggling to make that move, but on the brakes into turn 1, will he be able to make the move? It's a VSC, and he doesn't make the move. No, he does. Robbo has to give it back.
Fair play. He managed to get just in front towards the braking zone. No, he's going to actually return the position himself as well, so they might have some sort of bug. Yes, I reckon it is a bug. Robbo slows down, but he actually carries on. Don't know what happened there, but Becken going into the pit lane would maybe suggest that they had an issue. A virtual safety car speeding penalty for Tom Brainer is going to put him potentially out of the points as well, although he does actually have quite a big buffer, so he might be good to go at least to score something. Becken's just going to try and take away a fastest lap point from Peanuts, which would be a shame. We go racing yet again. Is he going to go for the move already before turn 11? No, he doesn't. He's just trying to push Robbo through the corner to gain anything he can, and then he'll get the move done right here. So close as he goes defensive, does Robbo. It's not really going to be anything that he can do about it, though. Fair play to continue. He is going to the end of the Grand Prix here.
Yeah, Robbo defending beautifully there, just enough to the point where he will get DRS and keep Charlie and Devon behind for now. Remember, as I said, he's got a lot of battery he can burn, and with that good straight line speed that the McLaren has shown for this race, it looks so he was able to maintain that position. Peanuts flashing on the light. Looks so Charlie nearly crashed into the back of the McLaren. This is going to allow Devin Young, without that mistake, he could have maybe had a chance to overtake. But speaking of, Charlie's going to try and make that move around the outside of the McLaren. Robbo with no traction at all. You can just see visibly that Charlie is so much quicker. Will he use the battery coming out into turn 4? No, he's not. So that's going to allow Robbo to stay ahead for one more lap. And now all this battling could allow Terence and Hage to catch up, which Hage has actually made the move, and Becken is retired in the pit lane. So a horrible race for the McLaren driver. One of them anyway. Robbo is going to try and salvage some points for the team, but it looks as though with Charlie and Devin Young, that's close. Well, that's close to him, that he's not going to be able to retain that podium position.
He's doing a phenomenal job so far. It could be all over. There's contact and he's thrown off the circuit. Charlie into the wall. That was such a shame there. Charlie is going to be absolutely furious. He doesn't rejoin the circuit immediately as he can't believe what has just happened. Devin Young is going to now get a free move. He's going to the outside line. Robbo's not recognising it. That was very, very close. He goes so slowly out the corner. I'm surprised that he didn't expect it. There's contact again from Robbo on the straight. I don't know. Unless it's desync, I'm very confused about that one. Lap 32 of the 35, and he is only going to lose more time and maybe even get a puncture. Interestingly, Charlie decided to go for the pit lane.
Yeah, Charlie, he's not got much to lose anymore. He had that incident. I think it was Rob, I'm not too sure. It kind of all just happened so quickly. And now it looks as though that everything's kind of sorted out and is going to settle down for the last few laps. Can we just mention for a minute, Senna is 100% battery and he's 8 seconds ahead of the field. He's had no issues so far. He's controlled pace for the entire race. And he's really shown why he deserves to drive for the Ferrari team, especially with a performance that's so good.
It is absolutely incredible. What a turnaround just within a few races. He's had some no-shows which cost him a lot in the championship, but he is showing that he can compete at the front. It's maybe a little bit too late, but he's doing a good job, and he's definitely made it very exciting, this race. Even though maybe later on it's not quite exciting for him, it's always nice to win a Grand Prix regardless, so this is going to be sweet for sure. And I don't think he was involved in any incidents, but even if he was, he is making a very good buffer to avoid any kind of penalty. The question is, will Devin Young catch up towards the end and be able to get peanuts for that P2 position, which is oh so valuable? Charlie's going to get an extra point as they get promoted in front of Tom Brainer, so that is brilliant news from him. I just wanted to say, I think Becken would have still got a point because they'd have got promoted from Heisler, so they retired and lost points there for no reason.
Yeah, maybe they didn't understand that entirely, but can we just, I want to just look at Robbo's onboard. There's no puncture as of yet. You can just see the rear tyres. You can just see the tyre peeling, and it's not very nice. Hage gets another 3-second time penalty trying to catch up to the McLaren Robbo. It looks as though he's struggling so much, and this is going to allow Terence as well to catch up. He's got some good battery, and those tyres are 11 laps fresher than Robbo's. So this is going to allow Terence, who's obviously the same tier as Robbo, a chance perhaps at a P4 finish. If Hage and Robbo battle, which Hage understands that he shouldn't, but I don't know if Robbo would want to keep that position on track, I think that perhaps Terence's chance of P4 is still alive.
It is very much so. I think he can definitely do it. Devin Young, 2.3 seconds with just under 2 laps to go. I think Peanuts might have done enough. It's not going to be easy for him to keep it on the track, but I think he has done enough. It's all about buffers around this circuit. You just need to try and make the time advantage early on and then just wait and hope that you've done enough. That is Frantic and Monk. Frantic going down the order as he makes a big mistake. I don't know who else was involved in that one unless it was just a mistake on his own. It would have been a heck of a shame. Heisler, here we go. This is his opportunity. Is he going to go for it at turn 12? It seems to be like that would be the best opportunity. He's going to get a significant advantage. He's not so close to Robbo that he has to lift off the throttle either. He will get a big toe into the corner. He's going to back off, but but still Robbo leaves the space, which is going to lose him time, but not enough because Terence actually hasn't caught up that much. They might look at DRS, but they're struggling on the tyres themselves.
Yeah, Terence just about gets DRS and the last lap starts. Haj, I don't think, is going to have any issues here. Robbo's actually going to use some of the battery that he saved up over the last few laps, coming onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. Robbo is under pressure from Haj into turn 1. Who's going to be last in the brakes? Of course it's going to be Haj, who wraps it right around the outside of the McLaren, and it looks as though he's going to make that move without any issues. Robbo down into P5. He's got no tyres left. Terence is now going to try and go for the move. He's only 7 tenths back, so he's going to have to push like all hell to try and make this move work. Haj is maybe streaking away without any issues, but you can just see Robbo visibly. I mean, the tyres are awful now. I'd imagine they're near puncture territory, so he needs to be conservative on the tyres whilst keeping that Red Bull behind.
They go through Sector 1, of course, the fast sector it is known as, where you won't get as much of a disadvantage on an old set of tyres, but now you come into Sector 2, Sector 3, where there's a lot more corners and there's a lot more opportunity to lose time. Here it is, Terence, will he get the exit? He will. He uses all the energy, goes defensive, does Robbo. He doesn't fully cover off the inside. It's going to be Terence to the inside. He's not going to have an opportunity. Still going defensive with Robbo, but he can't find a way through. Terence really looking for it, but I think he's maybe bottled that chance by going so aggressive. He should have tried to spot the opportunity on the exit, not the entry. It's going to be Robbo holding on. Senna takes a dominant victory in Budapest and Peanuts in P2. He holds on absolutely impressively there. Devon Young P3 not able to get in front of the Aston in the end. Robbo holds on to P4 after all of that. That is epic. And then we've got Terence, Heischler, Charlie in P7, and then he will go down to P8 as Monk will get that position. Frantic having that issue will not be able to get to Charlie in the end, so he still recovers some points. Tom Brainer is going to score 2 points, and then JJ will score the final one as they get promoted because of Heischler being the higher tier driver on the grid. This man though, Senna, he's done it. Absolutely incredible. The entire grid in a Ferrari sandwich, by the way.
Oh yeah. That's not maybe the flex that you might have thought it to be.
Yeah, not ideal, but wagging the finger, that is the P1 for that man. Robbo making those moves. He was at the back of the grid earlier on in the Grand Prix. He has done an amazing job today. It was very tough, and yeah, he's done it anyway. Senna takes the win. Peanuts in P2. Devon Young, Robbo, Terence. Then we have Heischler, Monk, Charlie with Frantic, and then Tom Brainer getting the fastest lap. JJ finishing off the grid. DNFing was Becken, followed by Jay Coy with a Cookie Monster earlier on in the Grand Prix. We're going to scroll through the race director just in case if we need to. Instant section, and then finally we will go to the pit stop section as usual, and then we'll go one more time through the results just to get all those time penalties that we of course do need, and then we will be back for the post-race interviews. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome to the post-race interviews of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We start with Heisler. Obviously, higher tier driver, so it wasn't quite as meaningful, but you still did make some pretty good progress up and down a little bit. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, my progress at the start was like really good. The first safety car was like, that's way too early to go on any other tire than hard, and the tire advantage for the others wouldn't have been high, and a lot of people stayed out with me, so that helped. And then another safety car came out. I believe that's the second. I don't know if there was one in between, but there was one safety car where me and Charlie were like really close to each other, and I was in call with him, and I asked him if he wanted to pit or not, since he is in the championship and I am not. It was a bit of a doubt, but in the end he wanted to pit, so I stayed out on those hards, which ruined my race, but I didn't really care about that. But I helped him somewhat. Sadly, he got taken out, but the rest of the race was pretty much just driving, driving, getting knowledge, getting practice for anything I need. I don't know, and yeah, that is it.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Nice. Well said. Yeah, it was a crazy race, but it was good to see you in it. Finally, once again in F1.5. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Help didn't help.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to our race winner today, Senna. That was an epic drive. I can't really say too much because I'll let you speak about it, but I don't know. Was there many mistakes? You got it pretty right.
Yeah, my race went very well actually. There was one incident where I believe I was involved with 2 other drivers in after the I don't know what corner it is, but there was an incident. And for the rest, yeah, my race went very well. I think it has something to do with me racing in F1 yesterday, because I could follow Zingy, and I knew his lines right now, so I was a bit quicker today, and yeah, all in all, pretty clean race, so nothing really to say about it. Very happy with my first win.
Well done. Well done. Congratulations. You're a race winner in LSI, and it'll be hard to catch the championship leaders, but maybe you can have a look at it for the future races. Well done. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I am win.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. You're meant to snell a younger. There you go. All right, Robbo. That was a tough one with the not the soft tires, the worn tires. Can you take us through that one? That must have been absolute hell.
Yeah, I can't really remember what happened before the final safety car. So after that, obviously, I was on mediums, and I was pretty sure that I could make it to the end of the race, but I wasn't sure whether anyone else was going to pit. So I was sort of just kind of setting consistent laps, trying to see what everyone else was doing. And once everyone pit, I sort of thought, let's just stay out, see what happens, try something different. And I think I maybe gained 1 position from it, I think on the Merc. Obviously, there was an incident there. I don't know who was at fault. I haven't looked at it again. But yeah, the tyres were pretty rubbish. I knew that would happen anyways. And I knew I'd just be overrun by people with fresher tyres. But yeah, I just went for it and worked out P4 from last at one point, not complaining. So it was a good race to get back after a 3-week break. And hopefully we'll get onto the podium and some wins for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Just a quick question about the championship. Do you think McLaren can win? The constructors?
Yeah. How close is it? I haven't looked. Do you have any idea?
It's fairly close. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's within the 20-point margin, I believe, between the top 3.
Well, considering I've missed the last 2 races and we're still up there, I definitely think we can win the constructors. I've no idea where the drivers is at now, but we're not halfway through the season yet.
No.
So anything can happen really for the rest of the season. So I feel like both constructor and driver are still open.
Awesome. I like it. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Always different strategy.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to, I can't remember who was next. I think we just go down the order now. It is going to be Charlie up next. Charlie, that was tough. A struggle at the start. Later on, you were really making quite a good comeback, but obviously it was cut a little bit short. Still points, though.
PA. Yeah, it's still points. I mean, not many drivers on the grid today, but yeah, from the start, I had some, I don't know, connection issues and some, general performance issues with the game. The game is stuttering a hell lot. It's just annoying. It's, throwing me off into corners. I get stutters mid-corner or into braking. It's, it's throwing me off all the time. But, yeah, then 3 safety cars in 10 laps. Kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Then that was a virtual safety car, was it? Midway through the race. Yeah, it didn't matter though. It was a short one. Yeah, I had a pretty good comeback, I would say. It's my first race without line on base, by the way. So, I was in a good position to make it P3 on track. I had some penalties, but I don't worry about those. For my first race without line, I think it was pretty good. Yeah, but then I had an incident with Robo. He basically pushed me off the track, and I fell back, pitted for softs. Maybe I could get the fastest lap. I didn't, so I don't know. Yeah, it was could have been much better, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way of looking at it. Do you think you'll use no line next time in Singapore?
Yeah, definitely. I'm committed to not using line anymore. So.
Awesome. I like it. Making the progress. It would be good to see. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Factor in 4.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Yeah, thank you.
And we move on to Devon Young. Just didn't quite get there on Peanuts. Are you disappointed with that one, or you still take a P3?
Well, I'd definitely take a P3 any day, but maybe a little bit disappointed that I couldn't quite get to Peanuts. I think I would have been with him if maybe it was just a clean 10 laps since from when we pitted, but we had the virtual safety car and then a few drivers to overtake. I got stuck behind Robbo, so a little bit annoying, but I mean, I'll always take a P3. I think, considering I wasn't really prepared for this race, I think I definitely wasn't expecting a podium, so I'll take it.
Fair enough. I think that's very, very mature. Do you think you can still try and turn things around, maybe figure out what's going wrong and then get back later on in the season for the championship?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm still in the fight and I'm still pushing, but I don't know, maybe it's a few things I need to sort out, I don't know, my rig at the moment is a little bit in shambles. It's quite uncomfortable when I'm racing, which I think gives me a few mistakes, and maybe I just don't think I'm preparing very much for each race, which is my own fault. But sometimes I find it find F1 quite boring to practice. So, but I'm definitely going to keep pushing, and it should be a nice battle between me and Peanuts, I think, and whoever joins the championship battle.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Very, very uncomfortable.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Great effort today, and well done on the podium. And we move on to Jacoy. That was an interesting crash. What happened on the straight?
You could definitely say that. someone came into my room, so I had to pause my game. And when I unpaused it, the AI had put my car on 100% throttle, and I did not have enough space to decelerate enough.
Ah.
So I rear-ended frantic, and there went my left front tire.
Oh. I'm very
Yeah.
sorry for that. Technical issues. I don't know why the game needs to do it, but there's nothing we can
It's
do.
too bad.
Yeah.
But the rest of my race wasn't too good either.
No. What happened?
At some point, I was in P6 after pretty decent qualifying. I'm sorry, and I just fell back constantly. So at that point, I was just surviving, and I failed at that too.
Fair enough. It's been a tough one. Hopefully we can see you race again. That would be great, and maybe get up the order a little bit better next time. It would be great to see you again. One last question though. How would you describe your race in 3 words if you can?
Absolutely binned it.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Great effort today, and hopefully we can see you again.
Thank you.
And we move on to Peanuts, the championship leader. P2, I guess you'll take it over your rivals.
Oh yeah, I would definitely take it. I mean, the qualifying was quite shambles. I screwed up my first 3 laps, and then I knew I only had 1 lap to actually to do something. I think I did. I didn't really expect to get pole with that lap. It was quite bad, but it was good enough for P4 or something. So I was pretty happy. How the race progressed was it was quite fun. I felt at the end I could just do my own thing. And it's never a bad day when you beat Devin. I mean, he's a crazy competitor.
Well said. Fair enough. Do you think you are looking pretty confident in the championship? I know you like to say that you only win on luck, but you've had that buffer originally. You've got a massive championship lead, and you've done another good job to secure a good result. It's only race 6, but it's still quite a way into the championship.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. My goal is to win this championship because I don't think I'm going to get another chance with just what I'm interested in doing. So I really want to win this one.
Fair enough. I like it. Thank you very much, Peanuts. It was an awesome race from you. And one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I'm going to do more in 3 words. Pretty good.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thanks.
And we move on to Terence. Terence, nice little work your way through the field late on. You didn't quite get Robbo in the end. Do you think you could have done it maybe if you tried a few different lines? You gave it a good shot though.
Yeah, absolutely, because I didn't have my own qualifying, so I have to start my plays last on the grid. So I'm just trying to catch every opportunities to get up to the fields, and I did because they have 2 safety car and 1 further safety car. The first safety car did help me because I lack of oil. So thank you God. In the last lap, if I didn't conserve my tire, maybe I can really get Robbo maybe 1 lap earlier even. So it's quite a disappointment, but I will take these results.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good in the starting stages of this season, so I hope I can keep on recovering.
Yeah, I mean, you've turned things around, so that is great to see. Of course, the Belgian Grand Prix is yet to come around, and you're guaranteed to win that, surely. But yeah, thank you very much. It was a nice little recovery at the end. It was good to watch. And one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Keep on recovering.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. I hope it goes well for the next few races.
Thank you, Efren.
And we move on to Tom Brainer. Tom Brainer, that was a tough one. Having that issue at turn 3 early on in the race just kind of set things a bit on the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I've got a setup that felt like a diva even last season, but had no time for practicing a new setup, so I had to stick with it. Was pretty happy after qualifying and the first few laps, and then at the end of every stint, my car felt very heavy. I couldn't. It was pretty hard to control it when I stepped on the gas, so on the throttle. So it was pretty hard, and the drive-through was just very unlucky. Cause it's normal that the data goes drastically down when you go into a corner, and I couldn't get the delta into the positives right after I went out of the corner, and then the saved post VSC just went in.
It's a tough race, and it never seemed to go your way today. Very unlucky at a circuit that you were hoping to be pretty strong at. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I am very sorry for that. I don't usually, I haven't today asked about next races, but I'm just going to move on to the next race for you. Do you think that you'll be confident at Singapore? Lots of corners?
Yeah, I mean, Singapore's a good track, especially if you got a good lap in qualifying. I have to see how much practice I can get for next race, because school stuff is pretty harsh at the moment. And let's see how it will go.
Yeah, do whatever you can do, and that's all we ask. Thank you very much, Tom. We do appreciate your effort, and hopefully you can get a bit of a return favour very, very soon. It would be great to see. Our win's on its way, don't worry. It will be there. Thank you, Tom. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
No practice time.
Thank you very much, and fair play to score some points in the end, even with no practice. Thank you. And that has been it for the post-race interviews. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We will see you next weekend for the Singapore Grand Prix, and then we'll see you not tomorrow, because that was the F1.5 Championship. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.